You can get up to $250,000 in business funding with bad personal credit, no hard credit check, and no personal guarantee. That means everybody who's between a 300 and 670 credit score. And listen, you might have bad credit because you never cleaned up and rebuilt your personal credit before jumping into business. But if you have a solid business, then you can still be funded. And you might have bad credit because you maxed out your personal credit cards to launch your business, or maybe you didn't have the time to research how to find business funding, so you just resorted to using your personal credit cards. That type of high usage is gonna tank your personal credit score, but with this option, you don't need good personal credit to get funded. It's called the Revenue Card and FlexLine, and my partner for today's video. I'll show you how you can get approved even with bad personal credit.
You may not want to use your personal credit. Well, that's one of the benefits of Revenue. You don't have to. They did not pull my personal credit.
How 3 business owners from completely different industries agreed they used the Revenue Card for one huge reason, and the 2 types of business owners that should completely avoid the Revenue Card altogether. And what is a flex line anyway? It's called a flex line because the amount of money you have access to isn't fixed. It changes based on how well your business is doing. When things are going great and your bank account is looking healthy, your flex line increases. But if you hit a rough patch and your income dips below, then the flex line will adjust and shrink a bit. And it's not a loan. You got to remember that. It's more like an investment in your business. What Revenue does is give your business money up front based on what they think your future sales revenue will be. It's really like they're saying, we'll give you this chunk of money right now because we're confident you'll make enough in your future sales to pay it back. It's kind of a mix between a business line of credit and a business credit card. You get cash in your business bank account, just like a credit line, but you can use it anywhere that accepts Visa, just like a credit card. But lines of credit like this typically require 2 years of business tax returns and a banking relationship, so they're impossible to get without significant time in business typically. And most business credit cards are gonna require good to excellent credit to get you approved as well. So with those business cards, you don't wanna even think about applying for one without a 700 FICO score. But with Revenue, that's not the case because you can get approved with bad credit because they're looking at your business revenue. The Revenue Flex Line is good for those times when you have to pay a vendor who doesn't accept credit cards. You can just use your Flex Line because it gives you access to liquid cash for whatever business expense that you need. And to fund your business, Revenue looks at your business banking history to decide how much they can offer you. All you do is link your business bank account to their software to give them access. And when it comes to repayment, your business is unique, and your repayment plan reflects that. You could be looking at daily repayments if you've got a steady influx of cash, or maybe monthly repayments if that's how your cash flow rolls in. What they're really going for is about what works for your business specifically. They're designed to be flexible with your business needs. And to get approved for the Revenue Card and FlexLine, your business needs to be official. We're talking registered in the US and not just flying solo as a sole proprietor. They want to see you've been in the game for at least 6 months as a fully formed business like an LLC, which shows you've got skin in the game. You need a business bank account with less than 3 days in the negative per month. Your business must generate at least $20,000 in monthly revenue. That's not profit, that's revenue. And you must maintain a daily balance of $1,000. And another good aspect is that businesses from virtually any field can qualify. The exceptions are going to be the financial sector, including banks or business lenders. The approval process can be done within an hour too. And as for accessing the funds, you could be rolling with that cash within 24 hours. And the whole time, your personal credit score stays out of the picture. It's strictly a soft credit pull from start to finish. And throughout the entire process, there's no hard credit pull and no personal guarantee needed. So you won't be personally on the hook for repaying any money. So let's talk about the pros of using this card. First off, it's a real game changer for business owners who don't have good credit. Even if your credit is not great, but your business is doing well, you've got a solid shot at getting the card and the funds you need. And this is really Revenue's business model. They even back it up by saying things like a card that puts businesses before their FICO score. They also say our advanced underwriting technology looks beyond your credit score to determine capital worthiness. And they say the Revenue Business Card allows businesses to get capital despite their credit score. Plus, the Flex Line adjusts with your business revenue. If your earnings take a dip, your payments do too. You also get a personal account manager, so you have a familiar person you can talk to and build a relationship with. Most of the time, you're not going to get that sort of treatment from the big, large commercial banks of the world. And there's no question that everybody loves when there's no hard credit check involved, so it won't hurt your personal credit score. And because there's no personal guarantee either, you're not personally responsible if things go wrong with your business payments. What I found also is that the Revenue Flex line is good for building business credit too, since it reports to the Smile Business Financial Exchange, and that company sends your good payment history to the major business credit bureaus, by the way. And I think a lot of people will underestimate how good it is that Revenue is open to so many industry types. There's a lot of really common industries like house flipping and trucking that many lenders won't even give you the time of day when you go to them for funding. And don't forget, I'll leave a link to the Revenue Flex line and card below so you can apply today and get your business funded within 24 hours without good personal credit. Now, my next question that I want to answer is, who is this card for? Well, let's say you're running a construction business and you need to cover some big costs like materials and paying contractors, but your client payments are still on the way. The revenue card can be a lifesaver in bridging that gap between the time that you get paid and the time that you're paying for materials. And let's say you're heading a consulting agency where you get paid per project, and sometimes there's a month or two before the next invoice payment rolls in. The revenue card can step in to cover your office rent and employee salaries in the meantime. And for larger businesses making over 100K per month, Revenue can give you funding limits up to 250K, which is huge for handling big moves like expanding your locations or taking on projects or even buying out a business partner. But I really think this next business owner summed up why using Revenue is a game changer.
We've used it when we're in a bind. It's like, oh, I need this right now. What am I going to do? And boom, I have my Revenue where I can jump in and pull down some cash and use it right away. So that's definitely been super helpful for us, and it's especially as a small business, and you may not want to use your personal credit. Well, that's one of the benefits of Revenue. You don't have to. They did not pull my personal credit, which, isn't an issue for me, but some people it is. Some people don't have credit. They just don't, but they may have revenue. They may have money coming in. So if they have money coming in with no credit, you can get a line of credit from Revenue. And it's gotten me out of some jams. It's gotten me out of a couple jams over the last year or so. I want to say maybe like 6 or 8 months, I think we've been using it. It's definitely gotten me out of a couple jams where it's like, oh, this is coming in and this is coming in and I got this getting going on. Oh, okay, how do I handle this? Instead of dipping into my own personal funds, I can go and use the line of credit.
And really, it's not the card itself, but the line of credit attached to the card that makes Revenue a great deal for business owners. Since the Flex line is just like having cash in the bank, you can solve any cash flow problem with it essentially. And here's what another business owner said.
The Flex line, to me, the cash availability was what was the most attractive. Revenue has been a godsend, for us, like a bit of a savior from some of these nasty MCA companies and things like that. I've actually used it most recently to kind of refinance some of those to get away from them and clear up the cash flow.
That's the nice thing about how the Flex line works, because it functions like a business line of credit, so you can use it like cash to pay for whatever you want, including debt consolidation, since you can take the cash right off the card and put it towards high interest debt. Let's take a look at what another owner said.
So when we received our card, we had access to our funds immediately, which allowed us to purchase a brand new chair for our business. We definitely recommend Revenue to other small businesses because not only is the application process super easy, but it gives you access to funds that you can use immediately to help grow and scale your business.
The fact that each owner was able to use the Revenue card in a different way shows how flexible this line of credit can be for businesses. So let's move on to a few cons about things I don't like about this card. The factor rate it uses to calculate interest will typically be more costly than a traditional business line of credit. And you're kind of left in the dark when it comes to what that factor rate will be before you get fully approved. But the bright side is there are no negative effects from getting fully approved to see what they will offer your business, since there's no hard credit pull. That leads me to, who is this not for? I say the Revenue Flex line is not for a brand new startup business, since you really need to have an established and fairly successful business with consistent revenue to get approved. It's also not for business owners who are in the best position with excellent credit, high business revenue, and over 2 years in business, since people in that position could easily qualify for business lines of credit with lower interest rates. But that's really assuming that you know where to look and you've already started building banking relationships, which is easier said than done. But I know there are so many business owners who will ruin their personal credit to get businesses off the ground. And if that's you, then this will be one of the few options to get funded quickly. So definitely click the link below to get fully approved for the Revenue Flex line without a hard credit check and without a personal guarantee. Thank you for watching.